So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to use the Google Ads Keyword Planner and the best practices associated with it. Now, the Keyword Planner is a tool that is built into Google Ads that allows you to do keyword research and generate new ideas for your Google ad campaigns. So if all of that sounds interesting, then this video is for you. Okay, so the way you access the Keyword Planner on Google Ads is by scrolling over to the tools icon here and clicking on planning. Now this is going to give you a drop-down menu, and all you need to do is click on Keyword Planner. Once that loads, it's going to open up 3 options, and all I want you to do is click on Discover New Keywords as such. Now, Google gives you 2 options for doing keyword research on the Keyword Planner. The first is by plugging in keywords, so you can plug in an initial set of keywords, and what Google will do is provide you with new keyword ideas based on that. The second is to plug in a website. This could be your website or one of your competitors' websites, and Google will crawl it in order to find new keywords that you can bid on for your campaigns. So we're going to start with the keyword option first, and we're going to plug in some example keywords. So I'm going to type in meal prep and meal prep company. So in this example, we're going to pretend that we're a meal prep company looking to find new keywords to bid on for a campaign. Now, once you've plugged in your example keywords, all you need to do is set the language that your audience will be searching in. So I'm going to stick to English, and then you need to set the country that you want to find new keyword ideas in. Now I'm going to target, or rather I'm going to search in the United States, and feel free to plug in multiple countries. So Google totally allows you to add in multiple markets if that's how you set up your campaigns. I personally wouldn't do it like this, and I don't recommend it. The reason being is that each country is going to vary in search volumes, cost per clicks, and Google's just going to amalgamate all of that data for you. So you're not really going to get a clear picture of how each market performs. You could have one market that totally skews your data and completely gives you a different picture from what you're really looking at. So I'm just going to stick to one country. Now, the moment you're happy with the keywords you've plugged in, you're happy with the language setting, the country setting, all you need to do is click on Get Results here. And Google will load for a bit. And just like that, Google is going to provide you with a bunch of new keyword ideas for your campaigns. Now, this is obviously a lot of data, right? So there's a few ways you can analyze this and sift through it. The best way to do this is to actually download your data into a Google Sheet. And the way you do that is by clicking on this download option here and clicking on Google Sheets. You can totally do this as a CSV as well if you just prefer using Excel. Now, once you have it in a Google Sheets, there's a few ways that you can analyze this. But what I'm going to do is go through each of these columns, and then I'm going to give you some strategies I use to review and analyze the keyword data from the Keyword Planner. Now, of course, you're going to have the keywords, the keyword ideas, but what's really important is the data that's associated with it. Now, the average monthly search volumes allows you to see the estimate of how much Google thinks people are searching for these keywords every month. So, for example, the keyword meal prep, Google estimates that 60,500 people are searching for this exact keyword every single month on Google, right? So this really gives you an idea of the volume, the search volume associated with a keyword, because typically the higher the search volume is, the more traffic you can drive to your website, and then ultimately more purchases you can drive. Now, the next column is the 3-month change. Now, this essentially allows you to understand quarterly change, right, on a 3-month basis. And this is very helpful if the keywords you're trying to find have a seasonal trend element to them. So let's just say, for example, you're a company that sells beachwear or surfboards, right? There's going to be a seasonal element building up to summer, and then there's going to be a seasonal decline going into winter. This allows you to factor in these trends and allows you to preempt the direction or the way the search volumes are going. Now, year on year is very similar. This just allows you to see how search volume performed, the volume of searches made on Google, the same time last year. And again, this just allows you to identify if there's a generally speaking, upward trend or downward trend on search volume. Competition is fairly self-explanatory. Google just tells you if the competition for bidding on that keyword is high, medium, or low. Now, there's actually a better column I use, which is this one here, which we'll get into in a bit. Ad impression share, I actually don't use at all. I don't find it very, very helpful. So I'm actually going to skip this one completely. And the next two columns here are going to be arguably the most important after your average monthly searches. Now, these are going to be your cost per clicks, or how much you're going to pay Google. But what's really cool, what Google does, is it provides you with a cost per click for showing in the lower range of Google on the first page, or the top of page, sorry. And it shows you a estimated cost per click for showing in the higher range of Google at the top of page. So this really allows you to understand the range or the cost spread that you can expect to pay for that keyword, right? Depending on where your ads show. And if you are using manual CPCs, or if you are applying a CPC cap, this can actually be very helpful as well, because you might not want to show at the very, very top of Google. You might be more comfortable showing at position number 2 or 3, meaning you don't want to spend as much. So you can then estimate what your CPC cap is going to be based upon this. Now, the very last column here, which is competition index value. This is actually one of my favorite columns here. The reason being is because it's very underutilized. Not a lot of people use it. So you can find some really cool keywords if you leverage it properly. Now, the way it works is Google provides a score to each keyword out of 100, 100 being the most difficult to rank for, 0 being the easiest to rank for. So, for example, this keyword here, meal company, has a competition index valued at 100, whereas this keyword here has a competition index value at 72. So it's a lot less competitive to rank for and show for on Google Ads. Now, like I said, you ideally want to download all of this data into a Google Sheet. And then once you've done that, you can actually apply a filter. Now, there's a few ways you want to go about this. So the most obvious way, and the way most people do this, is they like to filter by the average monthly searches from high to low. And then based upon that, you can pluck the best keywords that have a adequate search volume. Another method that I found, which is really, really cool to do, and feel free to copy this, is to, once you've downloaded your data to a Google Sheet, what I would recommend you do is to filter your competition index value to keywords that have a score of 60 or under, okay? And then go to your average monthly searches and filter for keywords that have a search volume of 500 searches or more. The reason you want to do this is because this is going to provide you with a list of keywords that are not very competitive, but still have a strong monthly search volume. So you're actually able to build out a list of keywords which you can then build into ad groups that are going to be easy to rank for on Google, especially for, say, positions 1 and 2, because there's not much competition associated with them, but you'll still be able to drive a lot of traffic, which you can convert into purchases if you structure your campaigns correctly. Cool. Now, the next thing to bear in mind when analyzing this data for your campaigns is the CPCs, right? The cost per click bid ranges, higher and lower range. Now, based upon your budget, this is going to limit what keywords realistically you can bid on and can't bid on. Let's just say the budget for your campaign is 20 British pounds a day, right? I'm in the UK, so we're going to use British pounds. Bidding on a keyword like meal company might not be that realistic. The reason being is because if we wanted to show this keyword in position number 1 in Google, we would have to pay roughly £15, 10 pence. So if our budget was £20 a day, we would just buy 1 click, which is not significant volume, right? We need way more volume. So I would look at potentially cheaper keywords, let's say keywords with a CPC, let's say £3 to even £2 or under. And again, you can apply that filter on Google Sheets and it will do that for you. So that is how you analyze and review the data. We've just gone through how to plug in keywords, and now I'm going to show you how to do it from a website point of view. Now, the way you can identify keywords using a website is by simply typing in your website or copy and pasting it. So I'm going to use Nike as an example. Now, you can use the entire website to do your keyword research from, or you can only use specific pages. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I would use the entire website if you're running more of a generalistic campaign. But if you're running more of a product or service specific campaign, I would only use the products or services from your website or your competitors to generate keyword ideas from. So let's just say, for example, you're running a campaign targeting people looking to buy prom dresses. I would only use a landing page to generate keywords from that sells prom dresses. So you're going to get a very specific set of keywords from that. Now, again, very similar to the keyword section. Once you've plugged in your website, all you need to do is hit get results and Google will load up your new keywords. So just like that, Google's going to provide you with a host of new keyword ideas that you can filter through. And again, this is really cool if you don't have any obvious keywords that you want to target, or you just need some initial inspiration. You can plug in your own website or your competitors, like I said. And the exact same principles that we covered in the keyword section are going to apply to this. So I would suggest downloading this data into a Google Sheet, filtering by monthly searches, looking at the CPC bids, looking at the competition index values, and using all of that data and analyzing all of that data to fit into the campaign criteria that you're going to run by the budget, by the topic, by the country. Okay, so there you have it. So now you should understand how the keyword planner works in Google Ads and how to use it to your advantage when doing keyword research for your campaigns. Now, if you are an e-commerce owner running Google Ads and would like to generate more revenue from your campaigns, feel free to book a free Google Ads audit below using the link, and I will personally audit your Google Ads account to show you how you can generate more revenue. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.